actually held their one game in many respects tonight. So, what is your takeaway from the performance that you guys had on your side of the ball?
Um, I think it's just one of those situations where just a better team won in that situation. I'm not discrediting anything that we've done. Our defense, I feel like we had a great game plan for it. We had to keep account for the quarterback and the running back because they are very dynamic players, and just as any good team does, they had to make adjustments, and that's exactly what they did. But West Virginia got a great team. I don't feel like there was anything that we did wrong per se. I just feel like they just made adjustments just like any other team would, and they just kind of attacked us on the edge in every different areas.
You say the big plays were the difference, the long 75-yarders, the punt return for the touchdown.
Yeah, just leaky yards in the way that Coach Chiz would put it. Just a lot of leaky yarders. I know the first play action pass is what set the tone for him, but like you said, we held the run up for the most part. It's just like kind of like the short passes that they threw him for. That was probably like even for like 10 to 12 yards. Just something that could barely get him past the first yard line. So just stuff like that, and I feel like that's something that we're gonna definitely need to work on, especially for this offseason, because I know we're gonna have a lot of key guys coming back, and so I feel like they're gonna definitely make that emphasis on stopping those, especially in crucial third down situations.
Kaimon, there were some young guys who did play well in this game. Amari Campbell, Caleb Cost. Does that give you optimism for not only the spring season, but also for next season for improvement on defense?
Ain't no question, man. I mean, like, y'all saw it. I know the result wasn't what we wanted it to be, but I mean, like, Amari Campbell and Caleb Cost, they were all over the field. Amari and Caleb, they had two of the biggest hits in the game, and Caleb interrupted a very crucial pass, and Amari, he was all over the place, sideline to sideline, like he is at practice. So these guys, man, I have full confidence in them going into practice. I have full confidence going into this game, and I'm still going to have full confidence for as long as they play here at UNC. So I'm glad I get to play in front of these boys, man. I can't wait to get to work with them in the spring.
Giving away last year closed and giving away this year closed, how do you process it? Or is it going to take time to process?
It's just one of those situations where you just got to, just like in the game of football, you got to have amnesia. You got to move on. It hurts. It does. I could probably honestly say that the boys in the locker room is the people that I'm going to miss the most, more than the loss and the result of it. And, that's the whole reason why I was very emotional tonight, just because, I'm going to miss these dogs, man. The locker room ain't going to be the same anymore in the spring and in the upcoming season. So I had to definitely reel that in. That's something I'm going to have to get used to. But losses, man, I played football long enough to understand it's just like, a loss, it sucks, it hurts, it's very detrimental, but you can't let a loss define you and control your attitude from here on out. So I just got to put it behind me and get back to work once January hits.
Are you talking about a lot of the guys that you came in with? Are you talking about the same
guys that I came with? Guys I came in with, guys that came in for 2 years, 1 year. It doesn't matter. These are guys that I've developed relationships with over time, man. It's just like the brotherhood that sticks, man. It's something that's hard to peel apart. So, just guys that I've been playing with, man, I'm going to miss them dearly.
Kaimon, the feeling for you, starting 6-0 and finishing 8-5, like just for you personally, what does that leave you with?
Hey, just got to get back to work. We got to figure out what caused us to not be as successful in the second half than we were in the first half. I don't personally have an answer for it. I wish I did, but like I said, we just got to get back to work, figure out what caused it, defensively, offensively, on special teams. It's a team effort. We got to win together and we got to lose together. So.
Is there anything in particular for you that you kind of communicate to the rest of those guys? Obviously, there's some guys that won't be back next year, guys that will.
Yeah.
I guess in that locker room, is there anything you kind of say to them after?
Keep your head up, man. Sorry. Just one of those situations, man. Like I said, loss hurts, but you got to move on from it. Just put it in the back seat, and let's just keep on driving. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's hard to do a lot of uplifting, especially when you're that kind of person. It's just like I don't like crying, so it's just like I'm trying to tell people keep your head up, and I'm over here in the back crying my eyes out. So, but it's just like one of those things where it's like you just got to keep everybody uplifted, understanding for the guys that are coming back. The standard that we're gonna have to set forth. Whether that was like even the standard was already high for us this year, we got to set it higher. We got to push people that never been pushed before. We got to hold people accountable. We got to hold ourselves accountable, and it doesn't even matter if you're a leader or you're not. So, we just got to hold people to a higher standard, and we got to understand that next year we got some things we need to improve, and we got to hone on to it.
What comes next for you? Does spring prep start basically as soon as you walk out of this facility, or is there a little break?
Spring break. Sheesh.
not yet.
Not yet. I apologize.
That sounds
spring.
good, though.
We got to get there. But I leave this stadium. It's just one of those things where like I can't sleep. You know, I gotta make sure I gotta stay on top of my craft each and every day. I gotta make sure that I can be the best player that I can be, just me personally and for this team. So I gotta be not only the best leader but the best football player.
Have you communicated that to the guys that prep starts right now, basically?
Not yet, but that's definitely something that needs to be addressed the second that we all touch back on campus right now. You know, everybody processes things a little differently, so we got to make sure, let people leave here, get back with their family, because, a lot of guys haven't spent Christmas with their families yet. So, get back, go back home, do whatever they need to do. But the second that January hits, we drop back in Chapel Hill, we got to make sure we got to set the standard and address, like, hey, we got to take care of business. No more games.
Kaimon, when was the last time you cried in the locker room?
Last time, around this time last year, honestly.
Yeah.
And this past season, probably around Georgia Tech. So, you had a question?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, we can see it, we can hear it in your voice. You could just run through some of the guys that you're definitely going to miss on this team that won't be back next year. Sure, there's plenty of them.
I'm about to say, man, honestly, everybody that's a senior that doesn't have another year. Start out with my roommates, Jalen Brooks, Chris Holiday, and Elijah Green, who obviously was not here today. Guys on the offensive line, Will Barnes, Spencer Rawlin, Chance Carroll, and then other guys around the board. You got Gio Biggers, Don Chapman, Miles Murphy, Drew Little, just guys just off the board, man. Just everybody, honestly. Everybody that I've spent my time with. Amari Gaynor, man, he's been a guy that came in for 1 year, but, we developed that brotherhood, that bond, and, man, I'm genuinely going to miss it. Just everybody across the board.
And then there's somebody that's coming back as a leader next year. What do you do to ensure a collapse, as you've seen before, doesn't happen?
Just got to hold, like I said, this kind of, as I said before, we got to have a sense of self-accountability and accountability of others, setting that new standard, setting that new bar for everybody that's coming in and for guys that are already been here.
I've got the last one.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Kaimon, as a vet who's seen a ton of college football, is there anything schematically that you feel like would be good to change or tweak or get away from or do more of next year, just from a scheme standpoint?
Honestly, I don't have an answer for that. I'm going to be honest with you. That's something that has to be handled up front, up top. Just for me, man, it's just one of those things where, like, I'm going to be putting the scheme and I got to be responsible for running it and every call that comes with it. But as of right now, I don't really have an answer for that, and we're just going to have to see how it's going to lead up from here on out.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cameron.